What is the best piece of advice that you've received? Riding motorcycles. There's a graveyard full of dead riders who had the right of way. You wouldn't care what people think of you if you knew how seldom they do. You don't have to show up to every argument you're invited to. Don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Treat things as an opportunity, not an expectation. If you're expecting a certain outcome, then you'll generally be disappointed, but if you are looking at it as an opportunity for things to go one way or another, you'll usually be happier with the outcome and not stress over it if it's negative. It's a lot easier to see silver linings or benefits in things when you're not expecting the outcome to be a certainty, and you'll be a lot more appreciative of said outcomes when you're not already starting at a benchmark. Control the controllable. Let the rest go. Comparison is the thief of happiness. Take the time and make the effort to figure out your boundaries. I wish so many people did this. Unless you're a rock star in your field, your connections at work are most likely going to present the best opportunities for you down the line. Networking matters. No one who is great at something was always great at it. Marriage advice. Pick your battles. Seriously. This helped me so much over the years, as I've come to understand that most things just aren't important enough to argue over, and that you don't lose anything by letting things go. My dad once told me, half-jokingly, that live fast die young doesn't work if you don't die young. He has a bunch of health problems now due to not taking care of himself when he was younger. It really opened my eyes to how the way I treat my body now will have repercussions decades in the future. After hearing that phrase and seeing his health issues accumulate, I've started eating much healthier and exercising more frequently. It will still be here tomorrow. Wisdom from my boss on having a huge to-do list at work and not stressing over it. Get done what you can today. What you don't finish will be there to work on tomorrow, and you don't need to take the mental baggage of having a big to-do list home with you. Measure twice. Cut once. I actually sometimes recall the moment my uncle told me that in a conversation when I was maybe 13 or 14. I think we were talking about it literally. 'Cause I did have a woodworking class in school at the time. It has helped me be more cautious when doing certain things though. Like when doing a task where I can't redo it if I frick up. I'll be super careful at each stage to be very aware of what's going on. Once you learn something, no one can take it away from you. It really resonated with me. Since I grew up with instability and uncertainty. Don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't also take advice from. Edit. This advice was geared more toward those people that work with those people that want to bring you down for no constructive reason other than to make you feel like shit. I'm a former people pleaser. So it was really hard for me to discern which criticism was worth a hit to my self-esteem. Sometimes people are just douche canoes and will beat you up mentally because they're in a bad mood. Always underpromise and overdeliver. Nothing is awkward until you convince yourself that I got one that's less deep than the others here. $1 saved today is worth more than $1 saved 10 years later. If you wouldn't let the people you despise living in your house, why let them live in your head? If you lend someone your pen for a minute, don't give them the lid. You'll always get your pen back. Close your mouth and open your ears. Nobody hears if everyone is talking. You'll be amazed at what you learn. If you can't hide it, point to it. As in, if you slip and fall on your ass in front of a group of people, stand up and take a bow. If you make an embarrassing typo, make a joke about it. Acting embarrassed only makes embarrassing situations worse. Embrace it and laugh about it. Live in reality as it is, not as you wish it was. This little snippet really changed how I approach life in my early 20s. Don't recall where I heard this, but if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Op. Since you're still young, always remember this, as the people who you surround yourself with, especially in your young adult life, will have a profound impact on the rest of your adulthood. Surrounding yourself with driven and intelligent people will influence you positively. Be decisive. Right or wrong. Make a decision. The road of life is paved with flat squirrels that couldn't make a decision. Be the person you needed growing up. Love, trust and respect is what you need in a quality long-term relationship. All have to be present and they have to be mutual. My mum. Honest work is better pay. Parents taught me this, and I always applied it when doing indoor painting and repair work. Sometimes, my customers would figure out little things that I did later on. Like taking doorknobs off before painting just in case they wanted to change out knobs. Word of mouth travels fast when the person they're paying good money to doesn't screw them and pays attention to detail. Marriage isn't 50-50. It's 100-100. You don't split duties and responsibilities. You both give your all. Regardless of how much your spouse is giving. There will be times when they won't give as much. Out of sickness or sadness or whatever reason. Instead of feeling like they should do more. Just pick up the slack. There will be times when you can't do your share either. Dishes need doing. Do them. Instead of asking whether they're doing enough. Ask if you can do more. Serve them. Give them yourself. If both people do this, it will be a happy marriage. Being an electrician working in industries. Go and see it for yourself. If a trainee tells you he has tightened all and any bolts and screws, go and see it for yourself. If your foreman sounds convincing enough that the materials for the job are ordered. But to ensure you can do your job properly and safely,